I would say Larry Fink being orange-pilled, right? You see old videos of him from 5-6 years ago where he was a Bitcoin skeptic, and he's now saying it's going to be part of everyone's portfolio, and BlackRock's the largest asset manager. Invesco Galaxy, we're going to try to knock them off the ETF pedestal, or at least, be a good battler, competitor in that space. And I think that's important because you're going to have 9, 10, maybe firms trying, build ETF products. That's 9, 10 sales forces going out and telling the Bitcoin story. Mm-hmm. And after that, they'll tell the Ethereum story and probably the Solana story. And so going to bring institutional capital into a space which has been dominated by retail. So that's exciting.
Yep.
I would say that was one.
Mike Novogratz is the CEO of Galaxy Digital, and he's a billionaire. He believes that the biggest moment of 2023 in the crypto space was the fact that Larry Fink and BlackRock have officially entered the space and have been orange-pilled. Novogratz believes in all of his career, Bitcoin is the biggest opportunity he's ever seen. He points out that as soon as a Bitcoin ETF is approved, there is going to be teams of salespeople from BlackRock, GrayScale, ARK Invest, Fidelity, and 9 other major financial institutions pitching investors on Bitcoin. And Novogratz would know best, as Galaxy Digital is one of the institutions with an application for a Bitcoin ETF, so he's an inside player. He believes that the coming bull run will be larger than anything we've seen in the past. However, make sure to stick around to the end of the video where Novogratz breaks down why he believes the bull run won't peak out this year in 2024, but will have to wait until 2025 to see the true peak. Also guys, only a small percentage of my viewers are actually subscribed. If you enjoy staying up to date with finance content, consider subscribing or liking the video. It's free and you can always change your mind. Now here's Mike Novogratz with his 2024 Bitcoin outlook.
We're at that point where the only way out of this is to debase your currency some. What the central banks got to try to do, and I think Powell is doing this, you want to talk top or 2%, and allow 3.5%, 4%.
Yeah.
That's how you slowly inflate away your debt. That year at 10% inflation, that inflated away a bunch of debt.
Oh yeah?
But what does that also do? It erodes your purchasing power.
Yeah.
In 2012, you could buy a house in this country for $190,000. In 2023, the average house is $390,000. It has doubled in 12 years.
It's unbelievable.
That's insanity. So if you're a young kid coming out of school, you're screwed. But let me tell you, if you bought Bitcoin in 2010 or 2012,
you're doing pretty good.
You've protected your purchasing power against inflation. I mean, that's the simple argument for Bitcoin. And yeah, I'm cherry picking the low, but
actually, if you look
pretty much do it any time.
Yeah.
And so the question just will be, what's the cost of the house going to be in 2030? And is your dollar plus its 5% interest going to keep up? Are you going to need to have some other assets? It's not just Bitcoin. It's Bitcoin. I think silver and gold will go. It's other cryptos. It's equities. So equities go when they debase currency because everything is worth less. So the price goes higher.
Not anymore.
What's wonderful about certainly Bitcoin is it's now just on the macro dashboard. I'm sure when I walk into any macro trader, they've got crude and 10-year and gold and silver and probably the corn price and 10 years and JGBs and Bitcoin. And so it's a macro asset. Most of those funds play it through CME futures. Some, we had a big account recently buy a whole bunch of Bitcoin Cash with us. That makes me really happy.
You mean spot Bitcoin?
Spot Bitcoin.
Yeah, not Bitcoin Cavi. The altcoin. Yeah, spot Bitcoin. Yep.
Spot Bitcoin with us. I think when the ETF shows up, that will be the weapon of choice.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's easy. It'll have liquidity. It's the same brokerage account. They'll get margin on it. And so I think you'll see a lot more, both long short equity funds, macro funds, institutional funds participate. I remember I used to have conversations with some of the biggest fund managers in the world, right? Ray Dalio is a perfect example.
Right.
I remember trying to orange pill that guy over and over. It made 0 sense for an $160 billion hedge fund to have a position in an asset that was big. And so only at $500 billion, $1 trillion and real liquidity does any asset make sense for for the real big ones.
Right.
And so we have grown into, we're now big enough for anyone. We weren't when we were a $200 billion asset. We just weren't, right? Or a $100 billion asset. But as a $1 trillion asset, it's now big enough for almost anyone. And so I think you're going to see, I always say, what's the difference between Bitcoin and gold? They got the same macro story. And so I can talk about macro. The gold adoption story happened over 3,000 years. It ain't going anywhere. The Bitcoin adoption story is in it's the second decade, and it's picking up steam. And so what I mean by adoption is that people see it as a viable asset. What drives me frickin' crazy is when Elizabeth Warren or Jamie Dimon or at times Jenny Allen said, well, I don't really see value in it. I was like, the gall, the arrogance that since you don't see value, there's no value. But Abby Johnson, oh, she must be stupid. Ray Dalio, dumb. Jeff Yoss, dumb. Pete Burger, dumb. Like the arrogance, you're looking at some of the best investors that have walked this earth that say, hey, there's some value in it, right? Bitcoin's value is the social construct. I say it has value, you say it has value, therefore it has value. I don't care what Elizabeth Warren says. But frankly, I don't care what Jamie Dimon says.
Right.
And they have been proven wrong, and the group of people that care about it have been proven right.
Don't think you're smarter than the market.
Yeah.
Market value.
Listen, you can decide I don't want to buy it. Warren Buffett decided he didn't like it. Charlie Munger, God rest his soul, passed away hating Bitcoin. They were wrong in the time frame to operate on. It doesn't matter. Charlie Munger made so much money. I'm sure he passed away with the biggest smile on his face. He was a great mentor to people. You don't have to be in every asset, right? I wish I bought Apple stock 20 years ago. I remember buying a bunch of it. I sat with Peter Thiel one day, and he convinced this group of people that Apple, Microsoft, Google, these weren't tech stocks, they were monopolies. And I was like, it just clicked. Every once in a while, an idea clicks. And so I went out and bought a bunch of it, all of it, and it had a great year. They were probably all up 30% that year. I sold them all. That was 2014.
Yeah. How has it done since then?
It's shocking. Once you realize something is a monopoly, you never sell it. And so listen, 2024 is going to be, I think, an important year. I really think 2025 is the year where crypto goes.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe not in price, but I think it takes that long, right? We won't have regulation, I don't think, in 2024. We might, 5-10% chance, we'll get it in 2025. And we need regulation. We just do. And listen, the election is in 11 months, and so then it takes 4 or 5 months. So you're really mid-25. I think that's probably when you see these tokenization things start getting to critical mass. And so in some ways, 2024 is going to look a little bit like 2023, with the exception of this giant fire hose called ETF, bringing new capital into the space. And what that capital does is allows people the time to keep investing in the projects that actually change the way people live, right? Bitcoin can change the way people save and protect their wealth, but it's not going to change the way the financial system operates, right? That's the plumbing of all this decentralized DeFi stuff and quasi-DeFi stuff and stable coins and tokenized Apple shares and tokenized Stradivarius violins and tokenized whatever.
Right.
The Bitcoin and other money coming into the space allows me to hire people. It allows my peers to hire people.
Right.
It gives us breathing space to actually build out this revolution. And so thanks to Larry Fink. And actually, to be fair, I got to give it a shout to the GrayScale team for fighting that. And that lawsuit really was, like, I don't think the SEC is doing this because they want to.
Their hand was kind of forced, it appears, by that ruling.
So there's Mike Novogratz, the CEO of Galaxy Digital, on why this is a pivotal moment in the crypto space. The entrance of Larry Fink and BlackRock, which is a major milestone in the crypto industry's evolution. His assertion that Bitcoin represents the biggest opportunity he's ever encountered in his career underscores the transformative potential of this digital asset. The anticipated approval of a Bitcoin ETF and the ensuing efforts by major financial institutions like BlackRock, GrayScale, ARK Invest, Fidelity, and others, including Galaxy Digital, to promote Bitcoin as an investment signals a new era in the crypto space. According to Novogratz, the upcoming bull run could surpass anything we've witnessed in the past. His insights into the timing of the market, predicting that the peak of the bull run will extend into 2025, offer valuable foresight for anyone interested in the future of finance and cryptocurrency. Anyway guys, let us know your thoughts on where Bitcoin will end up in 2024 in the comments. Hope you all enjoyed today's video and that provided you with some value. I'll see you all in the next one, and as always, all the best.